Let's talk some Brewers for a little bit. Brewers get the dub on Thursday, which gives them the series win. They did lose the game on Monday. Adam Wainwright, as you know. But the Brewers, what a great gesture. They stayed around and clapped. It was very nice of them to do that. I do want to remind you about our good buddies at the Wisconsin Bike Fed, because this is the time of the year where things get a little dicey, especially with the sun going down earlier. There's more people that aren't paying attention. There's more people that aren't used to the conditions. There's more people that don't turn their lights on right away. So the Wisconsin Bike Fed is reminding people, turn your lights on, slow down, look around. That message from the Wisconsin Bike Fed, wisconsinbikefed.org. And thanks to them for using this platform to help share that message. What is this? It's Tim Shea. Holy buckets.
Sweet hat.
I got a 1250 hat on the Dan Schani YouTube stream.
I
got my Thurston 10 shirt. Jimmy was one of the guys at our tailgate, so great to see him. And check out those guys. So, all right, Brewers, let's pick it up, man. Brewers lose on Monday. Adam Wainwright, fine. And then since then, they were able to put up some runs. 7 on Tuesday, 8 on Wednesday, Josh Donaldson coming through, and then 6 on Thursday with a 6-0 victory. Wade Miley, pretty good, 6 innings, 7 Ks. Your boy Bukowskis came in there, or whatever. Julio Teheran's back, and he had 2 innings of shutout work. So the Brewers, after this game, they knocked their magic number down to 3, and it looks like they are clinching a spot in the playoffs and as NL Central champs probably this weekend, unless we put the cart real before the horse, Tim.
Easy now. Yeah, I've already purchased my wild card tickets already, so I will be at the games for you, Bart.
You're going?
I'm going. I'm in.
Boots on the ground?
Boots on the ground. I will be at games 1 and 2.
Should I get credentialed?
What? Yes, you should.
I don't know.
Come on. You're working media, Bart.
Why are you going to the game? I thought we could hang out and.
I mean, we can if you really want to.
Yeah, I mean, maybe I'll do post games for those.
Would you want to go to a game with me?
What would you buy? Solo tickets?
No, I bought 2.
And you don't know who you're going with?
Not yet. No.
Oh, you absolutely want to go to a game.
Okay. All right. See, now you'll say that now, and then you'll be like, "Yeah, I don't know."
Well, it's very important. It's very important, especially for the 9 people that joined live on the YouTube stream when we did this. It's very important for those 3/4 of a dozen people that I have a post-game show.
It is. I mean, trust me, a postseason post-game show. I think you should have a pregame show too.
A pregame show?
Yes.
Like the Z-Bart on Deck show?
Yes. The Bart Winkler on Deck show. For postseason. It doesn't have to be long. You could do, listen to this. Oh, great idea. A pregame show with you. You can join mid-5th with me. We can do an in-game update, 10, 15 minutes, and then a full postgame show.
I think I like where you're going.
Don't. That's, I see. This is what I come up with.
Couple of comments on YouTube. Jake says, just do your post game with your iPhone in the parking lot. We could do it in the parking lot.
We could.
Jake says, also, Himothy Shea. M Shark says, Simothy Thay. Ken wants to see us at the game and then at rounding third doing karaoke after.
Ooh.
John wants to know if anyone is in favor of Yelich's quote-unquote injury lasting through the playoffs.
No.
I did have somebody comment to me, and it's not like I can pile on because I've been guilty of it. We're all talking about Bakhtiari missing 1 game. How many is Yelich? Has he played this month?
I think this is – didn't he play 1 game and then leave again over the weekend?
What's even wrong with him?
I don't know. I just think he's resting for the postseason, but and coming up with a magical injury.
He played the first week of September. He played against the Nationals one game. That was Friday the 15th.
Yep.
He has not played since then. Now, he did speak with reporters prior to Thursday's game. The update from Kurt. Kurt says, Yelich offered another update, says he's feeling better, worked out prior to yesterday's game, wants to return in Miami, and the Brewers' current position has some impact on this. Like, there's no need to play him.
Pretty much. I mean, they're doing fine without him.
Well, yeah.
Some would say they're doing even maybe a little better. But
are there like postseason roster questions that we have to?
Yeah, I was with a buddy. We were trying to figure out who's going to make this roster. You know, how many pitchers are you going to carry? How many hitters, how many batters are you going to carry? How many outfielders are you going to carry? Who deserves it more? Does Josh Donaldson make the playoff roster?
I think the team's pretty outspoken that they want Josh Donaldson to be a part of it because, and Craig said this too. You need home runs. Like they've said, you can score doubles and you can score singles and you can do hit and run and you can have great pitching, but you're fooling yourself if you think you can win in the playoffs without a guy that can mash taters.
Does Rowdy make the playoff roster? I don't know.
Your friend Grant just asked the same question. Literally the same question.
Does he?
I don't know.
I don't think he does. Honestly. He's played himself out of this, so.
Let me bring in I know him as the Sean O'Connell.
Uh-oh. We got some Dan Schani Insurance runs today. He loves those.
He's naming himself as filling void. Sean's been very aggressive online about. You feel disrespected in this whole stadium conversation?
No, just by you. You get so angry that I have the unmitigated gall to tell people that I go to Milwaukee to see Brewer games. I'm sorry that triggers you, but I did get my name tag to stick. I had to scour my entire wardrobe for one shirt, and I did find the one where it's stuck.
I think yours stuck. Somebody else stuck. That was like it.
Mine didn't stick until I brought it home and found the one shirt.
I wrote that. Show everybody again. That's some beautiful handwriting.
Oh, is that from the tailgate?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
Have you guys ever noticed that like males have maybe? Male handwriting's like snowflake. I've never seen two that look the same. But then female handwriting, there's only like 4 ways they write. They all look the same.
And they're all gorgeous. They're like calligraphy.
Yep.
Yeah, that's just my sexist thought of the day.
Yeah, mine looks like a caveman did this number. Unga.
Like you use a crayon or something.
Yes. And I blame many sports injuries. Listen.
Oh my God! What are you doing?
Tim, actually, Tim, you'll find this interesting. In a beer league hockey game, I bulldogged the guy like this here, and I punched the top of his helmet. I caught right there, that lip in between those 2 knuckles. It was no bueno, and it's made that noise ever since.
God, cut your hand off.
This is the jerk-off hand. I'll never cut that off, Bart Winkler.
Didn't need to.
I was just talking to my barber. He said, you're still doing that YouTube thing. I go, yeah. He goes, is it family friendly? I go, yeah, why don't you tune in today and find out?
If you remember, Bart Winkler, probably one of the first times I ever called in, it was with Chuck, and he was telling a story about doing TV in Duluth, Minnesota, and I sort of remembered seeing him when I was a kid, and the weather lady there was a bombshell who wore very, very tight-fitting clothes, and I mentioned that, yes, she would turn me on as a horned up little teenager and, self-abuse, that type of thing, because it was pre-internet. And that was all we had. And the next caller was Cream City Carol. It was a hell of a thing.
Oh, wow.
So the Brewers are looking good. Yes. I am surprised that if they were going to leave Yelich on the bench for so long, why not IL, 10-day IL, and bring somebody else up? Give him a chance, a little look-see. Or keep Joey Weimer up just so he could have got his time of service. And then the conspiracy.
Well, Weimer, I think he's like doing well down there, isn't he? I saw they showed some highlights.
Yeah.
Yes, and he could have made his service time. He missed it by 1 day.
He did.
Yes.
Fun.
He'll be back up once they clinch everything. That's another guy who will not be on the postseason roster.
I don't think so.
I'm not breaking news there, but
What do you keep 26 just like regular season?
I think 25, 24, 25.
No,
It's not 26. It's a regular. I think it's just regular.
It's 26.
Okay.
How many on postseason roster in MLB? 26.
Okay.
But they can only carry 13 pitchers.
13. Yeah.
Okay.
So you can't load up on pitchers. Another anti-Craig move.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Steve says, pretty bizarre to see the Cardinals mail it in as soon as Wainwright got his 200th. Yeah, they didn't.
What I'm interested to see what they do in the postseason, at least for these wild card games, is where MLB places the Brewers and their opponent. Do they place them early in the afternoon? Do they place them, some up more towards night? Because they're, obviously they're playing 4 games a day. So,
well, okay, let's do some perspective matchups. Now Baltimore, Houston, Tampa. I'm looking at the standings. It's too hard to
You would imagine that the Dodgers, they'll put them at the final.
All right, let's say
9:00.
Seattle is playing Toronto, Texas is playing Tampa Bay, the Cubs are playing the Brewers, and the Diamondbacks are playing the Phillies.
I would say the Brewers, that's probably a bigger game. That's probably the best game, right?
Well, if it's Cubs Brewers, that'll get a juicy spot.
Yeah. Where would that Toronto-Seattle matchup be? In Seattle or
Texas?
Or Texas-Seattle? That's a good matchup too. That's a division.
Or no, Toronto, Seattle. See, it's very we know who's in and who's out for the most part outside of the National League's got a little bit of breathing room. But then these teams in the American League East, like right now, Seattle and Texas are tied. I had that wrong. I should include Minnesota. I had that totally wrong because they're tied. One of these teams isn't going to get in.
Yeah, Minnesota's getting that noon spot. I'll tell you that.
They're a half
right
game
now.
behind Houston, so you're going to have because Toronto keeps winning. So Toronto, Seattle, Texas, Houston, 2 of those teams might get bounced.
And by the way, I said the Dodgers. They'll have a bye. I don't know why.
Yeah, we're just throwing out a lot of misinformation here. You can edit that.
If it's the Brewers,
edit that
Cubs,
before we go live, if you could.
If it's the Brewers Cubs, they'll have a very nice spot where I think people will be out of work and people don't have to worry about missing school or work and can get to the game. So
I've already seen some very, very pessimistic tweets that the Chicago Cubs, they've got the Pirates Thursday, then a series against the Rockies, on the road against the Braves, and then Milwaukee. Very pessimistic tweets that the Cubs could actually have 2 champagne shower nights in Milwaukee, clinching that final weekend, and then coming here and beating us.
No.
Not happening.
No.
Not happening.
I for one, I don't think they're going to make the playoffs. Just because of tiebreakers. I mean, did you see that they hold no tiebreaker over any of those teams?
Hey, that's why, some of these we start in April and May and June, and you say, oh, it's just one game. Fam, I'm here to tell you, every game matters.
I said that to a buddy earlier. A game in May matters just as much as a game tomorrow.
They all matter the same. Oh, get David Bakhtiari, week 2, week 17. What's the difference? There's no difference. They lost.
And
practice again.
Tim, do you see it more of a going to be a situation where the Cubs are already eliminated by the time they get to Milwaukee? And
no,
you don't.
I think it's gonna be a fact where the Brewers are gonna have to make some decisions. Do they want to pitch their good guys? Do you want to keep them in the same rotation and pitch them against the Cubs and knock them out of the playoffs? Do you want to hold them back and wait till they, till the wild card and pitch?
If there's a discussion about pitching the top guys in that final weekend once you've wrapped it up, or saving them for the playoffs, if there's a discussion, I want those people smacked in the face. Knocking out the Cubs is not as important as beating whoever you face in the playoffs.
Bears fans regret letting the Packers in that one year and beating them in the Packers went into Chicago and beat them in the NFC Championship game.
No, I just can't subscribe to that. I can't subscribe to that theory.
I'm with Tim. I think if you got a chance to knock them out, knock them out.
The New England Patriots should not have tried to go 17-0. You gave life to the Giants, and they knew they could beat you, and they did.
All right. What about this? Brewers have, line it up where it is Burns, Woodruff, and Peralta in the wild card games. You win game 1 of the wild card game. Do you kind of toy with your pitching rotation and say
you've been asking questions like this for 2 months?
Wade Miley? Do you go with a Wade Miley?
Anything?
Do you go with a Wade Miley in game 2 where then you can save Woodruff and Peralta for LA and maybe steal one out in LA and get 2 wins?
I guess it's a fine conversation. I'm going to look at it how I look at my survivor pool at Splash Sports. And you can also sign up for the week 3 pool, splashsports.com/Winkler. I try to win today.
Okay.
I don't care about I try to win today. Because once you start looking ahead, and you never know what's going to happen.
But didn't you just say not to try not to? But that you were just saying for the Cubs, if you had a chance to eliminate them, you wouldn't try to.
No, I wouldn't.
But you win for fantasy sports, you win for now.
No, that's different.
Well, is it?
If I am the Brewers and I've got nothing to play for this final weekend, I don't give a shit what the Cubs do. I'm not going super hard against them to make sure I don't have to face them. I just let the dice roll.
See, no,
especially in this sport.
Because if this were Yankees,
no, because then you start getting Chicago Barry, where all that matters to you is the Packers. You can't think of anything else but the Packers. Then you lose to the Packers, and your whole organization crumbles.
I guarantee you, if this were Yankees Red Sox,
no.
they would be thinking about knocking the other team out of the postseason, so they don't have to see them, and B, so they ruin their season.
I think that if you're going to be a serious World Series contender, you can't be fucking around with shit like that.
All right.
But if you were a real World Series contender, wouldn't you be trying to win every game? Treat it
if I'm really trying to win the World Series, the last thing I'm trying to do is knock out I don't care. And the Cubs aren't even like that good.
Yeah, but they catch fire in Milwaukee.
Anyone can come here and catch fire.
Yeah, but you know what? The Cubs are are probably the one team. When I look at that list of teams, it's like I don't want to play them. I don't want them coming to Milwaukee.
Well, yeah, but if they were the Wilmington Cubs, we wouldn't care.
Oh my God. Okay. All right.
It's fine for us fans to hope the Brewers knock out the Cubs. That's fine. We're 3 fans. But if the team is thinking that way, then just go to Maui October 5th. Screw it. You're done. Stupid. I got Jerry on my side, so that's how I know I'm in good graces.
Well, on that note, I gotta get back to work, but great talking to you guys. And Tim, if you can't find anybody else and you're worried, if you want a guy whose hand makes noise to watch your back
I'm good.
In a stadium filled with Cubs fans, you slide into my DMs, buddy. Love you, pal. See you guys.
Bye, Sean.
God. Ugh.
Anything else from the last week of Brewers? I talked some stadium, so we talked about that.
Hear about it every day at work.
Actually, I do want to get.
We've had some good reporting on that, by the way.
I'm gonna play some voicemails. Are you cool with that?
Yeah, let's hear. Let's see what you got here.
Some Carl's Place voicemails. 402-915-BART. 402-915-2278. CarlofET.com/Bart Golf Simulators. This is from John and Franklin. It's about the stadium conversation I had with Dan Schaefer.
Good morning, John and Franklin. Just a quick one here. Congrats to the Brewers keeping their foot on the gas, picking up the next two in St. Louis after the disappointing one opener with the Cardinals. I want to get in on this stadium debate real quick. I agree with you, Bart. We need to try to make this a bipartisan thing. I don't know if that's possible in this environment in this country these days. So I don't know. The less we can keep, the politics, the more we can keep the politics out of it, if possible, the better it's going to be for all of us as far as getting this deal done. But there's something to think about here. And as far as the Brewers, you got to wonder if they're, or Anasio is against development near the stadium. Let's face it. They had the best thing going with TGI Fridays in the stadium. And I was to hundreds of games as a season ticket holder. And the times I brought my wife, there wasn't a time we couldn't go there and drop $80, $100 sometimes between drinks and meal. Best food in the stadium, hands down. Best drinks. You kicked them out. You didn't renew their lease because you wanted to sell your own version of the watered-down drinks that you offered. It's just disappointing. And you'd rather cannibalize your own stadium instead of letting somebody else making the money. It's just beyond me. The Long Island iced teas that they had out, I don't even think they sell them anymore because nobody was buying them watered down. Because they were a piss poor recreation of what TGI's had out there. So I think that could be part of the reason why it might not make sense to us why something isn't getting done quicker. And as far as developing the area like Fiserv, I just think that the Brewer management and ownership might have a different way of looking at things. Prove me wrong. I'm out.
No, I think John's right. I don't think they're that interested. All of the beer district redevelopment stuff, not any of that is coming from the Brewers.
He's 100% correct.
It's coming from people that have wishful thinking about what that area could be. The Brewers are totally fine with what it is. Why? And if I was like Kelly's Bleachers and all these on Blue Mound, I would be like, whoa, let's pump it on any of these bars. They all got shuttles. I'd be like, you're coming to us. We're not advocating for a beer district because then the Brewers can that's the money we're making.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't want you to do that. Again, the perfect scenario is just if Kelly's was where the highway was and vice versa. No one would be the greatest shit ever. You could you walk to the game. Now you can take a shuttle. That's still fine as long as you can get there. But the Brewers don't seem, even when Rick Schlesinger says tailgate culture, he don't care about tailgate culture. He just means we don't. But they can get more money if they have more stuff there. But they don't seem to want that stuff there.
I know. I don't know why. He's always been like that.
But they got X Golf and they got Fridays, or not Fridays, whatever it is now. I'm telling you though, you would think that that's a draw. Like if X Golf was where that field was, Hellfair Field. That's not how you say it.
What? Hellfair?
Is that how you say it?
Yeah.
People, I would go more. The fact that I have to go into a stadium, it's weird. I got to go into the stadium to eat. You would think it would be a draw, like, oh, I can eat and see the stadium. It's actually less of a draw. If you had a little area with X Golf and a stadium, bar, and whatever, it would be more of a draw. Being in the stadium somehow is less of a draw. Do you want to go to Miller Park? You want to go inside and eat? No, I'll go to the Chili's down the street.
Exactly.
Which is weird. All right, I got one from Spark Guy.
Uh-oh.
All right, Spark Guy here. How you doing? Quick question for you. Brewers win 6-0. Match number down to 3. Looks like they will clinch the division, likely in New York, celebrating at Yankee Stadium. But it does bring to mind, you've talked from a fan perspective.
What?
Spark, you're looking at the schedule wrong. That's all right. I believe.
They'll be in Miami?
Yeah, we already played the Yankees.
Yeah.
Sloppy, bud.
Misinformation.
Right? From a baseball perspective, if you're Craig Counsell and you're those guys, that final series is coming up. Cubs are currently about a half game up in the final wild card. They're behind the Diamondbacks, Phillies. The way the schedule plays out, it looks like going into that last series with the Brewers, the Cubs they could fall. Of course, they could all fall apart. But if it plays out kind of with the schedule, Cubs got the Rockies next. They got some easier games. Who you play to beat the Cubs? Reminiscent to beat the Packers in 2010 to knock them out of the
Same
playoffs.
shit. No, same shit we're talking about. We've talked about it. I say no. And Tim says yes.
I say yes. You might as well. I mean, again, I bring up that Packer thing. So,
but you're playing this, and this is why I brought the Patriots before, because their goal needs to be the playoffs and the Super Bowl, and they made the regular season their goal. You've already got enough to play for. Don't make up shit to play for. You're not going to put a banner up that says knock the Cubs out of the playoffs.
Yeah, they might. The Brewers might.
Well, yeah. Brewers might. Anything else on the Brewers from the week that was?
No, it's just nice to see them rebound. When usually, they get shut out on Monday. The day before, they only scored 1 run at home. So usually when they go in those droughts, it lasts a little longer. So it's nice to see that was only 2 games that they really didn't score or hit the ball. It went that Sunday game went into extra innings, the double play against Washington. But it's nice to see that they regrouped after that Wainwright. And we all knew that was going to happen on Monday. Like, you saw Wainwright, and he was going so we all knew that was going to happen. So, but it's nice to see them come back and take 3 or 4. Have a party down in Miami, hopefully this weekend at some point.
Look at the Miami flu. I did also want to bring up Chris Middleton talked about Giannis. It's kind of business as usual either way. It doesn't affect me personally. I don't think it affects the team. It's something he said almost every year in contract extension talks. Again, earlier in the week, I pointed out the things that he had said in different seasons, and it's about the same kind of stuff. So it's the same stuff that he always says.
I just saw Travion Diggs suffered a torn ACL confirmed. And is
in
out
practice?
And is out for the season. Yeah.
What?
Yep. It just came through from Adam Schefter. MRI confirms Travion Diggs suffered a torn ACL.
That is awful. Oof. Breaking news.
There's the breaking news.
All right, I gotta get going. But Badgers,
tomorrow, Friday, today.
Yeah, how do you? Once they lost, I'm out. I can't do it.
Yeah, but you know what? They still have everything in front of them. If you somehow, I don't know. They should win at Purdue. They should. That should be a win.
Okay. Do you like the Friday night, or are we gonna?
Yeah, it's different. Obviously, the Badgers will never play a Friday night home game. But I guess this is a way for Purdue to get their primetime games in on national TV. But it's always kind of tricky when you go to Purdue and play at night. So it'll probably be a blackout, and we'll see what happens. But they live for their night games down in West Lafayette. And then who do you got for Thursday? I mean, the 49ers, right? I would assume.
The more important question is, who do you got for Colorado, Oregon?
Oh, give me Oregon to finally put the knife right through Dion's back.
All right, Jake, I can get you for a second. I'm wrapping up. What's up?
Oh, you're just gonna leave me hanging. I really just wanted to see Timmy. I haven't seen him since the tailgate, and I missed that face. You're looking good, man.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, I'll just give you a couple quick hitters then, almost like a voicemail. First things first, Bart, I know you're into 90s music. New Blink 182 released today. One of the songs is incredible. Check it out.
Yeah, I'll get right on that.
You should, wait a minute. You don't like the Blink?
They're fine.
Oh, come on, Bart. All right, we got to delve into this another time. But also, the Bucks are reportedly talking to Indiana about Buddy Hield.
I don't believe it.
Boston is also talking to them, and I saw somebody on Twitter say this is going to inevitably lead to Malcolm Brogdon being reunited, and I'm kind of here for it. He's pretty much.
There's something. This is a disservice to people that like Bucks content. I can't do that. I can't speculate about Buddy Hield. I can't speculate about Dame. It's just so much fucking nonsense all the time. Shit never happens.
Isn't that just trade rumors in general, though? In any sport, you're going to run into that. Like, what's the big deal?
For some reason, with the Bucks, we're always trying to tinker. We're always like the Bucks. The Bucks roster is like that '67 Corvette in your granddad's garage, or like remember Home Improvement? Tim's always working on that car. After 8 seasons, they finally took it out for a drive because there's always one more thing we need to fix. It's just too much.
Well, as is, the roster's incomplete because they don't. I mean, in my opinion, I don't think they have any point guard because I don't see Drew Holiday as a point guard. And they need a backup. And Brogdon is that perfect kind of 1-2 swing man that can play both. Assuming there's no heat within the rest of the players, I think it would be great.
David Bakhtiari.
Can he play in the playoffs?
No,
that's the most important thing. I think if you monitor that situation. But the last thing I wanted to bring up is I wanted to push back on you for not reading the Ryan Braun article. That's fine if you want to keep your head in the sand, Bart. But then if people are bitching about him not being in the Hall of Fame, that means you can't speak up because you got to have all the information.
Braun's name. Braun should have his number retired by the Brewers.
Or number retirement, whatever. Yeah, no, that's off the table. But read the article, Bart. I think it might be a little bit enlightening for you.
Well, I hate to break it to you, but they're never reissuing 8. So retirement ceremony or not, they will never give out that number.
Who would want it? God knows I wouldn't. I wouldn't want to be associated with that. Guy's a taint and a half. Anyways, I really just wanted to say hi to Tim. I miss you, buddy.
Thank you.
I'll see you at the Bucks get together when we have the Winkler versus Bucks game. All right. I love you guys.
Love you.
Those are all facts that he said about Braun. So,
yeah, he was mean and sorry. I didn't tell you I saw Giannis at my kids swimming.
Yeah. Nice.
Being a dad.
Taking a lap or with? Wait, are your kids about the same age?
Yeah.
Could I smell a friendship?
Trying.
All right.
I tweet him every day, pictures of my son and a Photoshop picture of his son. So I'll take pictures of my son at like the playground, and then I'll Photoshop a picture of his son, and I'll be like, see what could be. He's never responded.
Nope.
All right, live show after Packers Saints.
I'll join you. Go Brewers.